Hello everyone, I'm getting ready right now. It's New Year's Eve. I look a little bit of a mess. If you hear me deep breathing or you hear crying in the background, we're currently trying self-soothing with Asher because he continues to get up throughout the night. He is such a pain to get to take his naps if you watch my previous videos. So right now he's in the middle of a self-soothing. The pediatrician has recommended 15 minutes. So I think there's like 10 minutes left to go. So I figured while I'm waiting to see how that goes, I would just film and just talk about what 7 months postpartum really feels like. I'm gonna try and talk and do my face at the same time. So I never had any like I heard all about like postpartum. Like I've seen it on other people's pages, like, you know, people who've had babies, and I know a lot of people struggle with like a connection with the baby postpartum and all that. I feel as though I didn't have a traditional kind of after delivery situation, just because, as you guys know, Asher was in the NICU for a little over 3 weeks. So honestly, I had like all that time, honestly, to really heal. Like, I know, you know, after delivery for a lot of moms, they just take the baby home and after a few days, and then have to like heal physically and then also take care of their, you know, baby at the same time. And I, you know, the circumstances of Asher being in the NICU is not at all what I would have pictured. But with me feeling really good about the treatment he was getting in the NICU and always getting updates and being able to visit him every day, it was really mentally calming for me, and it gave me an opportunity to fully heal physically, you know, because I wasn't having to, you know, do the normal newborn mom things right out of the gate. So I do have to say, in that aspect, I was fortunate, because honestly, I could not imagine a few days after giving birth immediately bringing Asher home. I couldn't imagine it, because the healing itself, I mean, I know I had a baby, but the healing itself was more painful than I thought it would be, honestly. But yeah, so I don't know what my postpartum would have looked had I actually, you know, had to take Asher home right after delivery. But I think the great thing is, for me, I haven't really had any, I think, like postpartum depression or anything. I'm definitely realizing, or I actually would beat myself up, because during my pregnancy, I think I only gained, because I was actually in the process of losing weight before I got pregnant with Asher last year. So I think I only gained 20 pounds during my pregnancy. And for some reason, I gained more weight after giving birth to Asher. So postpartum, I think that's what I'm struggling with the most, is my weight. I'm an emotional eater. So, you know, kind of dealing with the stresses. Like right now, my anxiety is so high because he's just screaming still. I think dealing with, you know, the postpartum weight gain has been a big struggle for me. And that's currently what I'm dealing with. I'm getting better. I've actually lost like 4 pounds in like 2 weeks. So, I mean, that's not a lot. And I'm definitely the heaviest I've ever been in my life, but I've definitely had to be nicer to myself and give myself a slight break. Like, I just don't want to be that person who like goes and like, you know, they're still gaining weight after 2 years of having their baby and be like, oh, I just had a baby. I don't want to be that person, because it's just an excuse to continue to eat and be like, oh, I just had a baby, I can cut. But I do want to like cut myself slack. And I think that that's what I've struggled with the most postpartum, is just dealing with the weight gain. But I think as far as my depression goes, I mean, before even getting pregnant, I've battled with anxiety and depression. I'm on, medication for it currently for years. So I think that honestly hasn't gotten worse, but I do honestly feel like if I didn't have Asher, I don't know mentally where I would be. Like, I don't know if I'd be like in a little bit of a darker place, because I was slightly struggling with my weight anyway before Asher came into the picture. But I'm definitely grateful I have Asher, and I feel like, having him and, being very grateful and happy with, especially with all the miscarriages, I am happy and grateful, and I feel happy that I have him. And I still go to therapy every 2 weeks to help with my mental health, and I have really great support system with my parents and my sister and my best friend and, Sean, that I think that's the best part of it. I feel like if I didn't have that support, I honestly don't know mental health wise that there's no way I could do this by myself with no family. That 100% would slip me into depression, like horrible depression. I honestly can say that. But I think just honestly, just the biggest struggle for me postpartum has really been my weight. And like physically I feel good. Delivery area wise, I feel pretty good. And that even took a while to even feel normal. Like, I actually didn't think that it would take so long to feel normal down there. But I do have to say 7 months, I feel back to normal with that. And I think I kind of feel like that's really like where I'm at. I thought that actually I did think that I would struggle with the severe postpartum depression. Like, I really did think so. And I'm grateful that I didn't. And I do feel like maybe I struggled a little bit with, I would say a little bit with connecting with Asher when he came home from the NICU. And I think it was mainly because he was so fragile. He was underweight. He just, he was he was a preemie, and I think it was more just connecting with him in the terms of like, is he okay? Like, I couldn't really, I don't know really how to explain it, but I think the connection of more, I don't really know how to explain it, like, because I was so worried about everything that he needed and being super, like, he was so fragile that I feel like I couldn't really gain a connection with him, if that makes sense, because it felt more like medically making sure that he was okay and not really looking at the emotional side of it, but mainly like the medical side. Like, is he okay? Let's make sure he's this and this. Like, we have to make sure we do this and give him this medication. And it felt very much like that, and a very fragile, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But that's mainly what I felt like. And I think, he's going to be 8 months on January 14th, and I can't believe how fast time has flown. I think that's another thing that I'm struggling with, is I think all parents probably feel this way, is they really don't lie when they say time flies. They really don't lie. It's quiet. No, he's still crying. They really don't lie when they say time flies. It has flown by so quickly. And I think it's mainly because the first few months you just struggle with just sleep. You struggle with sleep. You struggle with being so freaking tired that you honestly don't even know what day is what. And then as you get more in a better schedule and start learning more about what your baby needs and his routine and schedule, then all of a sudden you wake up, or you have this instant like, oh my God, he's 6 months old, or he's 7 months old. And it's insane. It really is insane. But I mean, I'm just very fortunate that he's healthy baby. He still needs like 2 reflux medications, and he's having some stomach problems, so he needs 2 stomach medications. And it's just, he's still on a medication roller coaster right now, and I hope that soon that changes. But yeah, I can't wait for him to continue hitting milestones, and for me to share that on this channel and really just show the crazy journey, because you know, it's still like, it's crazy for me to say like I have a son. It's crazy because the past like 3 years of miscarriages really just discouraged me from like, will I ever have a baby? And I'm grateful, and I really am grateful, and gratitude is something I've struggled with, but I think with Asher, I feel so lucky that I was able to, I don't want to get emotional. I just feel really lucky and grateful that I have a healthy baby and he is always happy. And, you know, I kind of feel like no matter how tired I am, no matter how, crappy I feel, or, you know, lack of energy, he smiles at me, and I'm like, this baby deserves everything, and I will do everything that I can to be in a good mood and be in a happy mood for him. And it's a really it's almost like he smiles and laughs so much that I just get exhausted from like smiling and laughing and trying to like keep up with it, but in the best way, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Definitely comment below if, you know, you're going through postpartum right now and kind of what your experience is. I would love to read some experiences from other moms, you know, dealing with postpartum currently. But yeah, that's all I have for this little kind of discussion about postpartum. Didn't really get much done with my makeup, but it's quiet. It just hit the 15-minute mark that I was gonna go get him if he didn't stop crying, and it's quiet. So I'm gonna cross my fingers that he actually fell asleep on his own. And then Paco is so loud. Don't have pets. Don't have pets if you have a newborn. Anyway, if you like my content, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, hit like on the video. Yeah, and anybody watching this, it's New Year's Eve. Have a great New Year's. Set resolutions for yourself. I do it every freaking year. Anybody else cringe when Facebook memories come up and it's like every year, December 31st, you're like, gonna lose weight, gonna do this. Me, freaking literally am cringing over every single freaking memory. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the new year, actually. Bye.